All right. Good morning, colleagues, members of the community. Welcome to your chamber and House and the House Standing Committee on Education. Today is October 2024, and the time is 3:32 p.m. With members present, we have a quorum, and I hereby call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. At this time, may I get a motion to adopt today's agenda? Okay. There is a motion to adopt today's agenda, and it has been seconded. Are there any discussions on the motion? All right. All those in favor of adopting today's agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Today's agenda has been duly adopted. Next item on the agenda. For the members joining us this morning, to my left, we have Rep. Roman Benaventi. To my right, we have Floor Leader Ed Probst. And to his right, we have Chairman of the Saipan and Northern Islands Legislative Delegation, Representative John Paul Sablan. I would also like to recognize our Legislative Bureau staff assisting us with today's meeting, our legal counsel, Mr. Joe Hallahan, Legislative Assistant, Ms. Claire Sablan, and assisting with IT and media, we have Mr. Delbert Camacho. And to keep our meetings in order, we have our Sergeant at Arms, Mr. Will Ogun. As we move into opening statements and public comments, I respectfully ask that we keep it to 3 minutes each. And moving on to the next item on our agenda is public comments. Does anyone in the gallery have or wish to give public comment on any item on today's agenda? If so, please state your name, the agency you represent for the record.
Good afternoon. I am Lawrence Camacho, Commissioner of Education. Good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee and this body here in the legislature. And I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak on this particular bill, House Bill 23-55. I am not opposed to the intention and the true integrity of the bill, and I believe I know where the bill wants to go with this, and is the intended consequences of that I'm kind of at this point, the way it's written, maybe asking for an opportunity to work with us here at PSS and collaborate in the language of the bill. I understand, again, as I mentioned earlier, the intention of the bill, and that is to elevate our CCLHS program, and that is something that is a strategic initiative for us at PSS. However, the bill right now, as it stands, when it's written as this, and if it passes into law, could be a non-funded liability for us. If it takes immediate effect, and it sort of sounds like that, it'll impart a great impact to our budget currently that you had just passed as a body last month. And so I would ask that we go back and sit down and collaborate on how could we help in that regard when it comes to the understanding of the standards that I think the bill tries to articulate, and then the compensation for such standards. Because at the end of the day, we all want to make sure that our teachers are provided with the best incentives to ensure, and especially with this program that is in a way lacking across PSS when it comes to elevating it to the next level, elevating it being the program for Chamorro and Carolinian language and heritage studies. We want to work with the legislature, and I appreciate the intention behind all that. The board also, I want to make sure that we sit down and collaborate. Our board of education, as elected by the people constitutionally, are to set the standards and the salary scale and all that. So we want to make sure that they're also a part of this discussion, and we are representing them when we are discussing this and the way this bill could go into law. Because the other thing that I'm looking at, the third and fourth order effects that concerned and perhaps want to make sure that we understand as we move along with this is the disruption across our employment in PSS, where there could be some questionable things about the salary scale that is implied in this. We want to again make sure that we give the best incentive for teachers and instructors, and especially our Chamorro and Carolina. We want to make sure that we have that pool of talented individuals. There are standards that we abide by, and there are standards that we put in place across PSS, and the other type teachers or instructors could be disrupted in the way they also see this. So we want to make sure that we are again strategically communicating along the same path, and that they understand the intentions behind this. The last thing we want to see is any of our teachers being disrupted by virtue of the current language as it is in this particular bill, if that makes sense. So I just kind of want to make sure that I find an opportunity and a way to seek the body here to include us in the process. And I'm glad that you invited us to come and speak to this session here. And I again appreciate the time, and I appreciate the future collaboration and work together in drafting I think what would be a very nice law in the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there anyone else in the gallery?
Buenas tardes, Honorable Congreso. Inaano si Juan Iguel Tenorio. Taman na ilang niya i-commissioner si Dr. Lawrence Camotso. Na ifinali na debilita protehi edukasyon sa mga nagwa separado, especialmente sa salapi na banda. Pusing gagawin pabegagam doon ni Kongreso na por favor, kung kafral niya si Dr. Camotso sa naskatemano IPSS para utogi para una mauli ki programa jangin taigwi I fondo ni para inajuda para una kalamtin mono I intention ilay tisinya na uma susedi. Kef maguf zulo keno tatay testi ima amenda na bill I 23-55. Anaguf maguf zo sa todi famagonta I Youth Congress mangdagi gi hinasulnia gi corazonia I sinentinia na po maprotehi I kulturata lingwahi ahi ti baila naskataimano bumailo para representa Chamorro pat Rofalawas I tempo mahano mona guahane man matulalaika di kada biyahe na guahati nilaika ana susuai fundamento ni kultura lo ilingwahi ni ngayon gi tempo na punalok hafa ja para itauto pualok na fino Espanyol no gigun lemo hafa linya Chamorro pues ugagogo wamjo ni manmagas na por favor utay bio satisfecho Guauloke sa popota si Dr. Camotso hafa ilelenya na anisisita ajudulmizo jajangin sa kaso na para una takfena para una medkut esti intention na lay ni para uma implementa Chamorro ni Rofalawas na programa galum sistema de edukasyon disti elementary, middle schools and high school agef necesita todo dia judulmizo masaya afate mano minolenya sti intention para programa jangin taigi I fondonya ni para inabansa mona I programa ni ngaya no fatotso pues enoa por favor na tumotogizo gini ipabegogo hamzo y midde na consideración con respeto na hinaso de na jodasi si Dr. Camotso, si Associate Commissioner Mr. Magovna, dan todi jun na staff Inagwahagi sa lopi, do mana midgut, do mana takfina, este programan samoro, jan followers, bilingual, susus mausi, jan buena studies.
Tijos Masi, Mr. Tenorio, is there anyone else in the gallery that would like to give public comment?
Buenas tiro. Do you need me to say my name or okay? So my name is Lei Pua. My current capacity right now is with the CCLHS or bilingual program as the Carolinian program manager. So today, I stand before you to emphasize the critical importance of developing our CCLHS bilingual program with the right resources. Our unique identity, which is interwoven with our language and culture, must be highlighted in our schools, and that is an ongoing progress that we are working on. But our bilingual program, for whatever reasons, maybe we might have been taken a back seat for, again, whatever reasons, but we're working on that to improve that. Our bilingual educators are the pillars that uphold our cultural heritage and language, instilling pride and identity in our students. And I think this bill, I hope that it's not just a proposal, but that it also considers vital steps to revive our CCLHS program and propel it into a brighter future. Um, I believe that with the support of our legislators voting to support this initiative today and in the Senate, we can ensure and flourish our bilingual program. And I only hope that we can work together to safeguard and elevate our culture and identity within our educational landscape. Thank you. Yilisosi.
Tijos Masi, is there anyone else in the gallery that would like to give public comment? Okay. Given that there is none, we are moving along into the next order of business, old business. And there is none under old business. So we are moving on to new business. Without further ado, under new business, we have line item 1, House Bill 23-32, to establish a scholarship for residents attending international colleges and universities for technical education programs. I would just like to let the committee members know that in meeting with the CNMI scholarship, we are proposing additional amendments and we'll be working on this bill. So I would I would like to request that we table this bill at the moment.
No objection.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Then moving along to the next item under new business, we have item 2, which is House Bill 2355 to advance Indigenous Chamorro and Carolinian language education in the CNMI. And I'd like to give some reference to this bill and its intent. Earlier this year, we introduced this bill, getting the feedback from various members of the community, especially the bilingual teachers, and also visiting some of the schools. But before I go on further, I just want to thank all the teachers out there for all the work that they do. Having visited some of the schools, it's really nice to see, and also my kids being a part of the school system and being a product of the school system. At the school level, a lot is happening, and we really appreciate the work of all the instructors, teachers at all the different schools. But like what was mentioned earlier by Ms. Mona, there's several concerns um, with regards to the inequity when it comes to Chamorro and Carolinian language, the bilingual program within the schools. The fact that um, in terms of classrooms, some of the teachers do not have classrooms. They have to go from different, um, they're not even afforded a classroom. They have to share oftentimes. But this bill is really modeled after a bill in New Mexico. And I know people would say it's very different, but it's a different location, but the challenges are the same. Um, Bilingual education was always taking a backseat. And it's actually in the Constitution, and we must protect it. Hence, this bill, which really aims to provide a level playing field, um, because we're losing teachers. There's many. If you look at the programs in Guam, most of the bilingual teachers are from the CNMI. And what changed? What changed is the legislature and the program and the compensation for Chamorro or Chamorro bilingual um, was prioritized. And similar to what Mr. Tenorio mentioned earlier, we need to look at this and not put it at the back seat, but also look at, when tourists come here to visit our islands, they want to experience culture. At the same time, the Youth Congress, I want to give a big shout out to Youth Congress because they really took the time to meet with members of the public and feel the sentiment of the youth when it comes to language in the schools. So this bill is actually an amendment including the language from what was passed by the Youth Congress. So thank you to our senators in the Youth Congress. And without further ado, I'd like to recognize Rep. John Paul Sablon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you have thoroughly summarized and explained, at this time I offer a floor amendment to amend House Bill number 23-55 as follows, and to adopt the amended bill in the form of House Bill 23-55 HD1. So move.
All right. A motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor for the adoption of House Bill 2355, House Draft 1, please say aye. All those who oppose, please say nay. The ayes have it. And House Bill 23-55, House Draft 1, House has been adopted. I recognize Representative John Paul for the main motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I make a motion that we adopt and pass House Bill 23-55 HD1, and that this August body formulates a committee report to be presented to the full body of the House. So move.
Motion has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. All those say nay. The ayes have it, and the motion carries. Next item on the agenda is miscellaneous discussion. Okay, given that there's none, the next item on the agenda is adjournment. Oh. Recognize Rep. Benavente.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is it loud enough already? Thank you, Mr. Chairman, again, and the viewing public that are here. Um, I felt that this is not new, this bilingual program. It has been in the public school system for quite a while. And unfortunately, one way or another, it has been not that it is totally neglected. It's just that it wasn't really afforded. In I can say it in English. Estigin na bill kay Manuel Sangan si former Congressman John Tenorio. Importante sa afa kulturata lina lata. Estina bill inindidikan estina bill atutuka po ijotta identity. Pareway Carolinian dan Ichamoro dan ni Carolinian Rufalawas no community. Zagif bonito sa malagwit para tatsogi muna sa tanamoling muna eskwela. Tiyo kwe question standard no operation na education gini sinema sa utunga na maulika muna kinalamtitin niya. Lo muna tana holon si pan malagwin mas patana maulik Chamorro na Carlinia na bilingual. Muna usangan tayo gini sa isweddo ni man mapapasi maestra ni irregular na maestra dan ni maestra ni bilingual program ti pumarereho da guaha disparity guaha diferensya isweddo da ejigi do miskakurit ejigi mas no muna ti manonay onsya si man malago man mamanogi gini bilingual program. So fa incentive taigwi kabolis. Zao na be faisino commissioner sa kayo gini. Zao lukin na be tukas ti sa utunga na gipresenti sistema which is in Jadjago luki mo na kung tuloy principle siya in Jadjago principle paron every so many years un Jadjago mano na eskwela na Pompolo si na principle pa district principle mano na Pompolo gimagait healthy ano luki ne sagi kada tulay kay no itautaw ni nanay luki chonsa ni paro utulay kagwi da paro adjust bi gitay mano afa ginagago cada sistema, cada escuela. Lao y más za hululu enteramente y cada escuela debe de este bilingual program. Por favor, tafa na ajuda ang ensinyano na ajuda. Utunga na fengkas y fengkasta na problema lo ang ginsinya ma posi maestra irregular na maestra. Hafa na tisinya ta espia empenyo da ta posi. I maestran bilingual sa. Esti maestran bilingual sa. Kuturata esti. Linalata izota identity. Ja mas magufo jan mas magufo sa hoguzang go tatunga na parewin na dos na kinahulo ja wa graduation na kayo bueno gipustem mo pa ko law por favor may laza tajuda lo kisti se maestra ni maestro ni man malago man mamanogwi ja umapitsigi mo na tempo tempo niya do fan maposi gi diretso na sweldo ni man manonay siya pumalon no maestra umana prewa taja mas pabesongan lo enwa jao na be share gi jamju si dus mosi. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Benavente, for summing up. our sentiment. And without further ado, I move for adjournment. All- Okay. All those in favor say aye. All those say nay. The ayes have it.